Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudi Gaura Bhaktavindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mahapshad Maha Srimad Bhagvatam Grantaraj Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Gaura Premanandi Haribol. Okay, so today we're going to continue with Prabhupada's lecture, 5th canto, 5th chapter, 2nd verse. Mahat Sevam Ahur Vimuktis Tamodwaram Yosita Sangi Sangam Mahantas te samachitta prasanta vinmanyava shrida sadavo ye. One can attain the path of liberation from material bondage only by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. These personalities are impersonalists and devotees. Whether one wants to merge into the Lord's existence or wants to associate with the personality of Godhead, one should render service to the Mahatmas. For those who are not interested in such activities, who associate with people fond of women and sex, the path to hell is wide open. The Mahatmas are equipoised. They do not see any difference between one living entity and another. They are very peaceful and are fully engaged in devotional service. They are devoid of anger and they work for the benefit of everyone. They do not behave in any abominable way. Such people are known as Mahatmas. So Prabhupada says, the human body is like a junction. One may either take the path of liberation or the path leading to a hellish condition. How one can take these paths is described herein. On the path of liberation, one associates with Mahatmas, and on the path of bondage, one associates with those attached to sense gratification. And there are two types of Mahatmas, the impersonalist and the devotee. Although their ultimate goal is different, the process of emancipation is almost the same. Both want eternal happiness. One seeks happiness in impersonal Brahman, and the other seeks happiness in the association of the Supreme Personality Godhead. As described in the first verse, Brahma Sokyam. Brahman means spiritual or eternal. Both the impersonalists and the devotees seek eternal blissful life. In any case, it is advised that one become perfect. In the words of Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 2287, Asat Sangatyaga e Vaishnavachar Shri Sangi Ekasa Asadu Krishna Bhakta Ar. To remain unattached to the modes of material nature, one should avoid associating with those who are asat, materialistic. There are two kinds of materialists. One is attached to women and sense gratification, and the other is simply a non-devotee. On the positive side is association with Mahatmas, and on the negative side is the avoidance of non-devotees and women hunters. Okay, so this is a very important verse. It is essential for somebody who wants to become a devotee. Everyone in this world is seeking happiness, but there's different degrees of happiness. Basically, there's happiness that's temporary, and there's happiness that's eternal. One cannot attain happiness that's eternal by behaving on the material platform of selfishness and sense gratification. So one has to develop transcendental qualities of a devotee in order to be qualified for eternal happiness. So what the materialists do, they say, well, no, that's all a dream, that's all wishful thinking. There's no such thing as eternal happiness. We just have this body, and this body naturally is born and gets old and gets sick and dies. So we should just be satisfied with that. And in the meantime, we shouldn't waste our time with religion or things like that, unless it's because it makes you feel good. But the reality is that we should try to have as much sense gratification as possible in this life, and then when we die, we won't have any regrets, because we will not have omitted anything. We would have done everything possible for a human being, and then we die, and that's it. And you don't have to worry about sin or heaven or hell or anything like that, because those things are just myths. They're not the truth. Well, that's one way of looking at life. It's a very shallow and restrictive way. You're restricted only to sense gratification. And that's, as we've learned, it's always followed by misery. So it's not a good deal. It's one of the laws of nature that as soon as we engage in sense gratification, it's followed by misery. So Prabhupada is explaining this verse in depth. This is a long purport, or a long lecture, and we stopped at the point where he's saying, he says, if you have this intention that I shall live in this material world, I shall become happy in this material world, then there's no question of becoming advanced in Krishna consciousness. Matir na Krishne parata swato ma va mito bipadyata grihavratanam. Why people are so much attached to sense gratification? Adanta gopi, because they are not Goswamis. Adanta means uncontrolled. Go means the senses. They have given freedom to the senses. Whatever you like, you do. So the result is that if you let loose your horses, whatever you like you can do, then it will go and cause you to fall down in a ditch. Adanta gopi. Similarly, if we give freedom to the senses, adanta gopir vishatam tamishram, we go to the darkest region of hellish condition of life. And what is that? Punak punas charvita charvananam. That's one line from the Srimad Bhagvatam, 7th canto, 5th chapter, 30th verse. Again and again, the same disease, birth, death, old age, and disease. Punak punas charvita charvananam. This life or that life, there's going to be birth, death, old age, and disease. And it will just continue in a cycle, unending cycle. So, if you have got determination that we shall continue this life of birth, death, old age, and disease, and not control our senses, do whatever we want, then there's no question of liberation, there's no question of Krishna consciousness. There's no liberation. Therefore it said, Tamo dwaram yositam sangi sangam. Yositam sangi sangam. Yosit means woman. In a general sense, woman is supposed to be the representative of Maya. These are women that, of course, are not devotees. They're materialistic women. So either you directly keep relation, or you keep relation with persons who are very much fond of Yosit, or exploiting women. In both ways, you have to go directly to the darkest region of hellish conditions. Tamo dwaram. Therefore, our Vedic civilization, the first teaching in the Vedic civilization is brahmachari, First teaching, how to become brahmachari. In other words, a celibate student. It could be a boy or a girl. There are many saintly persons. They are akanda brahmachari or avala brahmachari, which means they are lifetime brahmacharis. So it is only for men. It is not only for men. It is meant for women also, because here we are dressed like men and women. Otherwise, the mentality is mainly to enjoy, to be the purusha, the enjoyer. Purusha means one who wants to enjoy. And yosit means enjoy. So our relationship in this material world, that either in the dress of a woman or a man, the mentality is purusha, how to enjoy. The mentality is purusha. So when we give up this mentality, enjoyer, because we are not actually the enjoyer. The enjoyer is Krishna. Krishna says, Bhuktaram yagatapasam sarvalokam suridam sarvabhutanam gyatfamam santim richati, 5th chapter, 29th verse. So, also Arjuna addresses Krishna as Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram Paramam Bhavam, Purusham Sasvatam Divyam. That means that he is the transcendental enjoyer, Purusham Sasvatam Divyam. But we are not Purusha. We are all Prakriti. It is described in Bhagavad Gita. So, Prakriti means that we are enjoyed. We are controlled by the Lord. We are subservient to the Lord. And we are meant to give pleasure to the Lord. And the Lord is the original Purusha. But when we come to the material world, after having revolted against Krishna, we want to be the Purusha. We want to be the enjoyer. And it doesn't really matter, man or woman. Both have this same mentality of wanting to be the enjoyer. So in the Bhagavad Gita it says, Apariyamitas tvanyam prakriti vidime param. Prakriti. So this material prakriti is referring to earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence. So, Bhumir apo nalo vayu kamano budire vacha. Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, 4th verse. But besides that, besides this earth, water, fire, air, and ether, there is the jiva bhuta. There's another prakriti. Prakriti means what is controlled. So the jiva, the living entities, the living entity is also prakriti. The living entity, meaning you and me, we are not Purusha. Constitutionally, Prakriti means the things which are enjoyed. That's called Prakriti. And the enjoyer is called Purusha. So none of us, either men or women, we are not Purushas. We are all Prakriti constitutionally. That's our original constitutional positions, to be Prakriti. And then therefore hit vanyata rupam swarupena vyavastiti. When you live as Prakriti, not as Purusha, that is called mukti, or liberation. This is the definition of mukti. Mahat. Sevam dwaram ahur vimukte. That means that when you serve the pure devotee, then the door of liberation opens up. Every one of us, we are thinking, I am the Purusha, I am the enjoyer. And there's a fight going on. Just like in Western countries, the Prakriti, the women, they are also fighting. We have equal rights with the man. So this is going on. There's a fight going on. Who's going to be the supreme Purusha? But the supreme Purusha is Krishna. It's not us. So this is all conditional life. The life in which we are living like prisoners, thinking that we are independent, but actually we are completely controlled. So this conditioned life is the so-called Purusha life, or so-called, so the Purusha life is we are the enjoyer, we are the owner, we are the exploiter, etc. Not Prakriti life. Unless we have got real enlightenment, what is our real constitutional position? We can only learn that by the association of Mahat, or pure devotees. So Mahat Sevam Dwaram Ahur Vimukte. That is the Vedic process. Serving the pure devotees. And Tad Vigyanartam Sagurun Igva Bikachet. So now we have to understand who is a pure devotee. Well, the pure devotee is whoever is completely dedicated to serving Krishna. Therefore, we must take shelter of such a person. Tat vidi paripatena paripastena sevaya upadeksyami te jnanam jnaninas tatvadarshinaha. Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, 4th chapter, 34th verse. One must approach a spiritual master with submission, asking important questions and offering service. And such a self-realized soul can reveal the truth. So in Srimad Bhagvatam also the same thing is said. Tasmat gurum prapadyeta jigyasu shreya uttamam. Srimad Bhagavatam 11:3-21. This says the same thing as Bhagavad Gita 4:34. If you are inquisitive to understand transcendental truth, the absolute truth, then you must accept Guru. To have a Guru should not be a fashion, should not be something that because somebody else has a Guru, you want to have a Guru. Today, Prabhupada's saying here, it's become a fashion. If somebody shows some jugglery, people become very much anxious to accept such a person as a Guru. But Guru means Tasmat Gurum Prapadyeta. Who is a Guru? Jigyasu Shreya Uttama. One who is very much anxious to know, who requires a Guru. Jigyasu Shreya Uttama. One who is very much anxious to know about the ultimate benefit of life. For him, Guru is required. And this, I completely agree with this statement by Prabhupada, because I remember right after I graduated from college, I realized I didn't really know much. I was passing tests and doing okay in my grades, and I got my college degree, but I didn't really know much about life and what the purpose of life is. So I decided to explore this question: what is the purpose of life, and how should I spend my life? What is the best way I can use this life that I have? And it led me to associating with devotees. And, well, I explored different religions for about a year. But then I realized when I met the devotees that who introduced me to Bhagavad Gita and Srila Prabhupada's purports, I realized from the purports of Srila Prabhupada in the Bhagavad Gita that he was a real guru. So I did not want to join Krishna consciousness because I wanted a guru because other people were choosing Prabhupada, or other people were choosing gurus. There were many gurus at that time also. But I felt that Prabhupada was really a qualified guru, that I could tell from his purports. So Prabhupada says, just like we keep a dog as a fashion, nowadays it is a fashion to keep a dog. So don't keep a guru like a dog. And who will hear you? You know, in other words, you say to the dog, come on, come here. Yes, come here. Prabhupada says, not like that. Guru requires, Guru must have the qualification that you can surrender to such a person. Not like a dog. You don't really surrender to a dog. You command the dog. But Guru becomes the master, where you can surrender. Tasmat Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. Prapadyeta means you must surrender. Just like in the 4th chapter, 34th verse, it says, Tat vidi paripatena paripasnena seva upadekshami te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. So, prapadyeta means the same thing as tat vidi pranipat. Pranipat and prapadyeta mean the same thing in Sanskrit. It means surrender to the Guru. And why you should surrender? Why should a person surrender? Jigyasu. If you're actually inquisitive, if you actually have questions, you're an inquirer, then Shreya Uttamam. Shreya means the ultimate benefit of life, and Preya means immediate benefit of life. So there are two things, Shreya and Preya. The human life is meant for Shreya, the ultimate benefit of life, and animal life is meant for Preya, immediate benefit. So immediate sense gratification, that's animal life. And spiritual life is Shreya, long-term good, permanent good. So Shreya means ultimate benefit of life. That one who is inquisitive to understand about the ultimate goal of life, for him there is a need of a guru, not accepting a guru as a fashion. So this is exactly what I was looking for. I wanted to find what would be the best way to use my life. And I had an idea that I would have to meet someone that knew exactly the answers to all the questions I had about life and how to attain, and what is the actual purpose of life and how to attain it. So when I met the devotees and they told me about Prabhupada, and then I started reading Bhagavad Gita and discussing it with devotees, and then I realized that these purports could only be written by a person who actually had the answers that I was looking for. And then when I actually did meet Prabhupada, I realized that he was that person that I could surrender to. So my experience is similar to many, many other devotees at that time. So, Tasmat Gurun Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. Then what is that, Guru? That is also explained, Sabde Parichanisnatam Brahmani Upastrayasrayam. So this is the verse from the Srimad Bhagvatam where it says, Shabde means Vedic literature. Vedic. So a guru has basically bathed himself in the ocean of the Vedas. Sabde parichanisnatam. Just like if you take bathing water in a river, deep down you'll become very refreshed. Similarly, one has to take sabde parichanisnatam. And what is the symptom? How I shall know that he has taken bath fully in the ocean of Veda. Brahmani upastrayasram. He has finished all desires for material happiness or distress. He is Brahmani upastrayasrayam. He has taken shelter of Brahman, the same thing, Param Brahman or Krishna. Sarvadharmam purityaja ma'amekam saranam braja. So Bhagavad Gita 1866. The Guru has fully immersed himself in transcendental knowledge through regulated devotional service, and he's finished all desires for material happiness or distress. So those are the two things in life, there's happiness and distress. The Guru has given up any attraction to both. And he's completely taking shelter of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Guru. So, Sarvadharmam Prityaja Ma'amekam Saranam Vraja, Bhagavad Gita 1866. One who has taken fully shelter under the lotus feet of Param Brahman Krishna by taking shelter of a bona fide guru. Otherwise, you'll not be able to get out of these clutches. Now, in other words, without surrendering to Krishna's pure representative, you cannot become free of the material nature and material ignorance. So therefore, here it is said that if you are actually anxious to become free from this material condition of life, then you must accept the service of Mahat Seva. In other words, serving a pure devotee. Mahat means one who has fully surrendered to Krishna. He is Mahat. Vasudevam Sarvam Iti. He accepts Krishna as everything in his life. One who has taken this conclusion, Vasudeva Saramiti, Samahatma Sudurlambha, is a very great Mahatma, a very great liberal person who is liberally giving Krishna to everyone. Mahatmanas tamam parata daivim pakritim asritaha bhajanti ananya manaso gyatva bhutadim avyayam. So this is Bhagavad Gita 9:13. So Prabhupada says, these are the formulas. So he gives two verses from Srimad, one from Bhagavad Gita, one from Srimad Bhagvatam, 434 Bhagavad Gita, and Srimad Bhagavatam 11.3.21. 11.3.21. Tasmat Gurun Prabhadyeta Jigyasura Uttamam. And then Jigyasura Tasmat Gurun Prabhadyeta Jigyasura Uttamam. And then Sabde Parichanistatam Brahmani Upasrayasram. So these two verses say basically the same thing, except there's a little bit more information in the Srimad Bhagavatam verse 11.3.21, because it says that the Guru, it gives the clear-cut qualification of Guru. He has completely understood the Vedic knowledge, and the proof is that he's finished all desires for material happiness or distress. He's free of it. And then Prabhupada gives the verse 1866, Sarvadharmam Prityaja Mami comes Saranam Vraja. So one should only surrender to Krishna, and Krishna frees the devotee of all previous karma. So their path is clear to go back to Godhead. Okay, so then such a person, such a guru, he's a Mahatma. Mahatmanas tamam parta daivim prakritim asrita. So 9th chapter and 11th verse, where it says, 9th chapter, 13th verse, where it says, Bhajanti ananya manaso gyatva bhutadim avyayam. O Arjuna, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me, meaning Krishna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. And therefore, he also quotes 7th chapter, 19th verse, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Gyanavam Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Saramiti Samahatma Sudrulabha. So he quoted that verse, and then he quoted this verse 9:13. So we see this progression of verses, and he draws parallel. He chooses verses that have virtually the same meaning from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Guru, or the great Mahatma, has no other business except worshipping Krishna. That's all. Mamekam. Only Krishna. In this way, if we find the opportunity, then there is possibility of moving. If we find the opportunity to meet such a Guru and Gurus, then the possibility is there for liberation. Mahat Sevam Dwaram Ahur Vimuktes. That's the meaning of this. He's explaining this first line of the 5th canto, 5th chapter, 2nd verse. and giving a lot of deep understanding of it. And if we associate with Yosi Sangi, in other words, people interested in sense gratification, those who are desirous of enjoying the material world under different pleas, so different varieties of sense gratification. And if you associate with them, then you glide down to the darkest region of hellish condition of life. That's what happens. You will be influenced by them, and you'll end up in a hellish condition. Well, almost everyone you meet today is a sense gratifier, men and women. So, therefore, it's very dangerous, and we have to be very careful who we associate with. That doesn't mean we ignore people or are condescending toward people. It just means that we should seek out always the association of genuine devotees. And although we can be merciful and kind to materialistic people, but we should not associate with them intimately. And Prabhupada says in the next verses, it is said, Mahantas te samachita. That is what is the symptom of a Mahatma. Yeah, so he says. So that's the second. That's the third line of this verse 552. Mahantas te samachita prasanta. So now it's explaining what is this symptom of a Mahatma, or great devotee, or pure devotee. Rishabhadev says, and this is a verse quoted by Rishabhadev to his sons, Samachitta, equilibrium. A Mahatma is not disturbed by material conditions. Samachitta, sama sarve subhutesu. So again, he's quoting the Samachitta from 552, and then he quotes Sama Sarve Subhutesu, Bhagavad Gita 18:54. That is, Brahmabhuta Prasanatma Na Sochiti Nakangsati Samak Sarve Subhutesu. So one attains a level of Brahman, or they're no longer disturbed by lamentation or hankering. And then one goes to a higher level, Samak Sarve Subhutesu, they are equal to all living entities. So, because the Prabhupada says, Samachitta Prasanta, meaning peaceful. Prasanta. Pra means Prakrishta Rupena, fully blissful. And when one can become fully prasanta, fully peaceful, when he has no more material desires, Anya Bilasita Sunyam Gyanakarma Devlabritam. Now he's quoting another verse. This is by Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.11. And this explains the what is a person's qualities who is transcendental. It says Anya Bilasita Sunyam Jnana Karma Dhyanavartam Anukuyena Krishna Silanam Bhaktir Uttama. So it's explaining what is Uttama Bhakti. Uttama Bhakti means pure devotional service. So this is also quoted in the Bhagavad Gita, I think, where it says, Anya Bilasita Sunyam, 1 second, let me just find it. One second. In the wrong place. It's a definition of pure devotional service. So this is quoted in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, verse number 55. Rupa Goswami clearly states that if anyone wants to execute unalloyed devotional service, he must be freed from all kinds of material contamination. He must be freed from the association of persons who are addicted to fruitive activities and mental speculation. When freed from such unwanted association and from the contamination of material desires, one favorably cultivates knowledge of Krishna. That is called pure devotional service. So, this verse, Anya Bilasita Sunyam, Yana Karma Dyanavritam, Anukulyena Krishna Sonam Bhaktir Uttama. So, Prabhupada says here, one should be prasanta, fully peaceful, when he has no more desires. So, this is a definition of pure devotional service in the verse from 1.1.11 in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So, he says here, no more material desires. That is prasanta, and that is also understanding of anya bilasita sunyam. So Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma, 1854, everything is described. So Prasanatma, it is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So long you will want something, there is no question of being fully peaceful. So therefore, Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Bhukti Mukti Siddhikami Sakale Asanta. So Bhukti means those who are karmis, addicted to working very hard to get some material benefit. They're called karmis. Either in this world or the next world, they're either seeking sense gratification in this world or sense gratification on heavenly planets. So there are different types of karmis. So bhukti means bhoga, sense enjoyment. They are called karmis. Their only concern in life is sense enjoyment. Bhukti or mukti. Mukti means liberation and get out of material contamination. That is called mukti. Swarupena vyavastiti. But just like the jnanis, they want mukti, sayuja mukti, to become one with the Supreme. So mukti and bhukti, or mukti and siddhi. Siddhi means yogic perfection. Anima, lagima, prapti, 8 kinds of yoga siddhis. So the yogis, the jnanis, and the karmis, they want something. They want something. Therefore, they are not prasanta. They're not fully peaceful. So long you want, there cannot be peacefulness. There is no question of peacefulness. In other words, he's saying, as long as you have a material desire, there's no question of peacefulness. So bhukti mukti siddhikami sakali asanta. So those who are seeking material pleasures, or those who are seeking liberation in the impersonal Brahman, they are not fully peaceful. Krishna Bhakta Niskama Ateva Santa. Only the Krishna Bhakta, or the Krishna devotee, he does not want anything material. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching that. So what you're seeing here, and the reason I'm reading this lecture by Prabhupada, is to show how Prabhupada creates this very elaborate tapestry of showing how there are verses in Bhagavad Gita that are similar to verses in Srimad Bhagvatam, but the verses in Srimad Bhagvatam add a little bit more dimension to what's in the Bhagavad Gita. And then he also refers to verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita and then verses from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. These are the most, and then also verses from Ishopanishad. These are the 4 most important spiritual books for ISKCON devotees. Ishopanishad, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Prabhupada shows here this correspondence. This is called correspondence. They correspond to each other. They communicate with each other. They complementary to each other, these verses. So when you understand these, if you do it on your own, it could take many years. But here Prabhupada is making it easy. He's actually doing it for us. So now you can be a real high-powered preacher by understanding these correspondences between verses in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ishopanishad, and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion. So now he says, Krishna Bhakta, he does not want anything. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching that. So here he's showing how whatever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught, or is teaching, it's the same as what Krishna teaches, because they're the same person. The words may be a little different, but the concepts and the ideas are the same. So, but Lord Chaitanya said, Nadanam, Najanam, Nasundarim, Kavitam Va, Jagadisha Kamaye, Mama Janmani Janmani Sware, Bhavatat Bhaktira Haitaki Twai. Chaitanya Charitamrita Antilila 20, chapter 20, verse 29. And it's the Siksastakam, verse 4. So, this is called Shanti. Shanti means peaceful, but it also means I don't want it. Nadanam, Najanam, Nasundarim, Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamaye. This is bhukti. Karmis they want. They want many followers, many voters, so that I can become minister or president. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, I don't want many voters. Najanam, Nasundarim Kavitam, neither a very beautiful wife. These are material demands. To get money or wealth sumptuously, to get good wife and many followers, many workers, so forth. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu denies. He says, Nadanam, Najanam, Nasundarim, Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamaye. Then what do you want? Mama Janmani Janmani Sware. This means, again, it's Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antilila, 20th chapter, 29th verse, or Siksastakam, 4th prayer, same thing. He doesn't want mukti even. He doesn't even want liberation. So he doesn't want what the karmis want, that's sense gratification either in this world or in the heavenly planets. And he doesn't want mukti, impersonal liberation. He doesn't want mukti even. Because if you want these things, you'll never be peaceful. Because they're material things. Even though you're practicing spiritual life, the karmis are doing many rituals, the jnanis are learning Vedic knowledge, and then the yogis are doing very profound meditation. But they all want something material. It can be material, gross material like the karmi, or subtle material like the jnanis and the yogis, but material. Otherwise, why is Lord Chaitanya saying, Janmani, Janmani? Mukti means no more janma, no more birth. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Mama Janmani, Janmani. It doesn't matter. Mama Janmani, Janmani Sware, Bhavatad Bhaktira Haitaki Twayi. That's all. Therefore, if you want to become prasanta, fully satisfied, fully peaceful, just like Dhruva Maharaj, he went to a forest and underwent severe tapasya to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when he actually saw him, he said, Swamim Kritarto, Smi Varam Yache. This is also quoted Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 22:42. I don't want any benediction. So Dhruva went to the Lord because he wanted a benediction. He wanted to become king like his father. But when he saw Lord Narayana or Lord Vishnu, he said, I don't want anything now. I'm just satisfied seeing you to the Lord. So you see now Prabhupada has explained why Lord Chaitanya says, Mama Janmani Janmani Sware. I don't want beautiful women, I don't want wealth, I don't want followers, I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth, meaning I don't want liberation or mukti. But now he's connected that to Dhruva Maharaj in the Srimad Bhagvatam, and Dhruva Maharaj says, Swamim kirtaratosmi varam na yache. I don't want any benediction, Dhruva Maharaj says. I'm satisfied just seeing you. So this is prashanta. This is called complete peace or unadulterated peace or fully satisfied by seeing the Lord and serving the Lord. No one disturbing Krishna for any personal material benefit. No one's. So devotees don't pray to Krishna, please give me this, please give me that, I need this, I need that. They don't pray like that. They're fully satisfied simply by seeing the beautiful form of the Lord and being engaged in the service of the Lord. That is called prashanta, fully satisfied. That is stated here, mahanta. This is mahanta, samachitta prashanta vimanyava. Vimanyava, because a devotee has to suffer so many tribulations. That is the history of all devotees. But he's never angry. He's never angry. In other words, if you become a devotee, yeah, there'll be many difficult situations that you have to go through because there's so many obstacles to pure devotional service and pure devotees in the material world. You don't do anything to hurt anyone, but because they're envious, they want to hurt you. That's unfortunate. But the devotee is never angry. He's never angry. If he gets angry, he falls down. Vimanyava, just like Lord Jesus Christ. He was being crucified, but still he was praying, God, these people, they do not know what they are doing. Vimanyava, never angry. If he becomes angry, then who will he preach to? He'll be criticized for being angry. There's a description of Sadhava in Kapila's instruction. So now he's going to quote something else in the Srimad Bhagvatam about Kapila Dev that supports this idea of prashanta. So he's quoted now Lord Chaitanya, he's quoted Bhagavad Gita, he's quoted Dhruva Maharaj, and now he's quoting, going to quote Kapila Deva. Titikshava Karunika, Srimad Bhagavatam 3.25.21. Sadhu means very tolerant. That is taught by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Trinadapi sunichena, tararapi sahishnana. So the first qualification of sadhu is titikshava, and at the same time karunika. There are many instances, just like Prahlad Maharaj. So now he's going to quote Prahlad Maharaj. So he's going from Dhruva to Kapila and now Prahlad. Prahlad tolerated so many tortures even by his father, Titikshava. And at the same time, he was thinking how to deliver these persons who are not Krishna conscious. So although his father is torturing him, he's thinking about the welfare of his father and how he can help him. That is karunika. So the Titikshava is very tolerant and not disturbed, not angry. And in karunika, he's very merciful. Prahlad is being personally tortured, but at the same time he's thinking how to do good to others. This is a sadhu, a real sadhu. Titikshava karunika. Suhidam sarvabhutanam. So now he's going back to Bhagavad Gita 5.29, where it says that Bhaktaram Yagitapasam Sarvalokam Maheshwaram Suhidam sarvabhutanam, that he's friend to all living entities. So that's 5.29. He's friend not only to the human society, but he's friend to the ant even. A devotee does not like that even an ant should be killed. No. Sridham Sarvabhutanam. He's a friend to all living entities. Titikshava Karunika. Surida Sarva Bhuta. So he's also very tolerant and peaceful, and he's merciful. And he's a friend of all. Ajata Satrava. He's not even an enemy of his enemy. He does not create any enemy. But unfortunately, the demons become his enemy. What can be done? Suhidam Sarvabhutanam. He's friend to all living entities. Ajata Satra Santa and Satrava Santa. And he's also not trying to destroy his enemies. Again, the same word, prashanta, fully satisfied by dint of devotional service and Krishna consciousness. He has nothing to hanker after because he has got Krishna. Why he should hanker? Santa, prashanta. He's peaceful, he's perfectly satisfied. Titikshava karunika suhida sarvabhutanam. Ajata satrava santa sadava sadhubhushana. Srimad Bhagavatam 3:25-21. So this is the sadhu. Therefore Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Apichet sudara charo bhajante mam ananyabhag. So now you can see how deeply Prabhupada has studied the scriptures, and especially he studied the most important scriptures, that is Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, or Nectar of Devotion, and Ishopanishad. So he says, Sadhur eva samantavya, in the Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, 30th verse. He is sadhu. No more sadhu. This is sadhu. Therefore, here is the same thing. Vimanyava surida sadhavo ye. So we have to approach the sadhu. We have to approach the devotee. We have to approach the prashanta. And if we become fortunate to serve him, then liberation, the path of liberation is open. So you see, he's explained here the qualities of a pure devotee, but he did it by making reference to Prahlad Maharaj, to Kapila Dev, to Dhruva Maharaj, and to verses from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So now he says, thank you very much. Any question? Who is in charge of the microphone? Come on. Go on. What happened? Okay, so now our homework for tomorrow is to continue going through the verse right up to this point where Prabhupada ends the verse and he asks for questions, and now complete all the mantras that he referred to. And they're all in, if you just carefully read this verse, this purport by Srila Prabhupada, he has all that information. All that information is here, all the mantras. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. If there's something you can't find. So by doing this, I've done half of it. I'll finish it tomorrow. I also put down the purports in the Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, each one of those verses, or Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this gives you a very deep understanding of the philosophy concerning guru and disciple, and in general, the difference between devotees and non-devotees. So you have your homework for tomorrow. The homework is, now we were supposed to do at least almost half of this lecture that we've read already, and then take notes about all the verses that are quoted, right? Now, we went to the end of the lecture today. So now you finish it. Do all the verses. Because once you have all the verses, just like I have it here, at least half of the verses here, right? Once you have all the verses, then we're going to study how Prabhupada went from one verse to another and developed deeper and deeper understanding of who was a real guru, who was a real disciple, who are not gurus, who are not disciples. You see. So he's made a very thorough discussion, and he did it by quoting many, many verses and showing their correspondences and how one led to the other. See, this only a pure devotee can preach like this. Who is sadhu? Yeah. Yes. Then there are the questions, but we won't go over them now. That's another part of this lecture, because a lot more information comes out in the lectures, also, in the questions and answer. But we'll do that tomorrow. So there's quite a lot of work to do, because you have to find each verse and And then we'll discuss how he connected them. He went from one point to the other and connecting them. And each time he opened up a new file, let's say, you know. So, but only a pure devotee can do this. An ordinary person can't do this. Because you have to, it just proves how much Prabhupada is an expert in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and Ishopanishad. No ordinary person could do this. No scholar can do it as Prabhupada did just now, because he has real realization of the Shastra. And only a person who's spent a lifetime studying the Shastra would be able to speak like this. You know. Huh? Yeah, he doesn't have any book in front. You know, it's just coming out of his realizations. It took years. It takes years to understand all these correspondences. Right? You see my books, right? I'm writing down correspondences. He's got it all in his mind because he's studied it, and he's been blessed by Krishna and his guru. That's why he can speak like this. Once you begin to understand how deeply Prabhupada has studied the Shastras and has an understanding of it, then your appreciation increases even more. And then you realize how we have to also spend a lot more time understanding. So you don't have to be a bookworm. You just have to hear the lectures and do the homework. And the more you realize how great, well, not only Prabhupada, but how great all our acharyas are in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, and how profound Krishna is, the supreme guru, is given all this knowledge, you know, and then there's Vyasadeva who's compiled it all. So all that work has been done by very, very exceptional transcendental persons. They're not ordinary people, you know. Then you don't want to waste your time reading any book, any other book. It's just a waste of time. It just takes your mind away from the essence. This is the concentrated nectar. This is concentrated nectar, Amrit. And Amrit also means immortality. If you drink this Amrit every day through your ears, you'll attain immortal life. Yeah. Haribol. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. No scholar could write like this. It's not possible. Or speak like this. Not possible. So Prabhupada never deviates from the essence of all knowledge, which is devotional service. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Maybe they forgot before walking home.